Oh, yeah, new crime. A city attorney convicted of $15 million fraud who donated to Fani Willis. Why does this keep coming up? You'll keep hearing those words over and over again. Crime, fraud, criminal fraud, donations, money to Fani Willis. Welcome to the pattern that is about the anti-Trumpers. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. I'm the creator of Earthworm Jim, the Neverhood, and Nickelodeon's Cat Scratch. I'm an artist. And now I'm thrown into exile with my brothers and sisters, my patriots that still believe America is worth saving. We're the last man standing down here in the bunker. So welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, then don't be a chicken. Don't be a baby. Push the subscribe button. Here's the article from the New York Post. Trump prosecutor Fani Willis got donation from ex-city attorney convicted of $15 million of fraud. How do you fraud people out of $15 million and get away with it? Oh, simple. You're a Democrat. They'll cover for you all day until you finally get caught. This is at the New York Post. A former Atlanta city attorney who was sentenced to 7 years in prison over a massive $15 million pandemic loan fraud donated to Trump prosecutor Fani Willis's campaign after applying for the government handouts, records show. These are the kinds of criminals that kind of Miss Timpson pointed out were guilty of just laundry. They knew how to pull all the switches and get all the money flowing. They hid behind the Panda Express. They hid behind the pandemic checks that were handed out, freebies. She's getting $15 million worth of handouts. That's her picture. That's the fraudster up there in the thumbnail there on the right. This is Shelitha Robertson, 62 years old. Hey, she's looking pretty good for 62, I gotta say. Used some of her ill-gotten windfall for lavish purchases, including a massive 10-carat diamond ring and a Rolls Royce, according to federal prosecutors. Well, is it worth it? Gang, is it worth it? Shelitha Robertson. Now you're going to spend 7 years in jail. Let's see. You'll get out at 69. Ugh, you poor thing. But she also donated $1,000 to Willis's Democratic Party election campaign. Around the same time, she got massive payouts from the Paycheck Protection Program. Georgia campaign filings show how many of Fani Willis's donors got the money washed straight through them, right? It goes straight from the government fraud and then washed straight through them to the Fani Willis Democratic primary election. That's the pattern I see here. Last year, Fani Willis charged former President Donald Trump with racketeering, which is really weird because this all sounds like criminal racketeering that are funding Fani Willis. You know how Democrats tend to project now. We know that. Following a 13-count indictment accusing him of trying to illegally overturn the results of the 2020 election in Georgia. Now, just remember, in case you think Trump tried to overturn the actual results, which he didn't, he said, go find me votes, implying that they existed. You're going to see the Democrats try to overturn the actual results of this fall's Georgia results. Guaranteed. And watch the press, media, everyone in big tech will follow along. They won't say that they were trying to use, instead of alternate electors, fraud electors. That's what they call Trump's people, saying they were going for fraud electors. When Fani Willis's people and when the Democrats try to overturn Georgia this fall because Trump's going to win, the press will go back to alternate electors. These aren't fraudulent electors. These aren't fraud electors. These are alternate electors. That's all they are. All constitutional alternates. You watch. I'm calling it here. I'll just point back to this thumbnail and I'll tell you guys. See, I called it. Okay. Trump is one of 19 people indicted for this sprawling case. He has pled not guilty and denies all wrongdoing. This is not the first scandal to hit Willis since she lost her high-profile prosecution against Trump. No kidding. The scandals are piling up so thick. I can't even keep them straight. The case is currently in legal limbo after Trump and other defendants sought to have Willis removed over her affair with Nathan Wade, which another prosecutor. Yeah, they were doing the hoo-hoo while they were going out around the world on taxpayer payer funding. This is Miss Robertson, Shelitha Robertson. She's the person on the right side of that thumbnail there. Shelitha Robertson, a Democrat. No kidding. Yeah, I knew she was a Democrat when you said 15 million's worth of fraud, who ran unsuccessfully to be a circuit court judge in Fulton County in 2010 and 2014. That's 2 times she lost. Donated to Willis in May of 2020. I just want to say to Fulton County, Georgia, how do you feel about this lady? She was almost a judge, just like Judge McAfee, just like Judge Engeron, just like Judge Kaplan, just like Judge Juan Merchan. She was almost a judge in 2010 and 2014. She'd be doing the Letitia James, pointing her finger at other criminals. And she's exactly the kind of person that steals $15 million from COVID to help businesses and help people that are in trouble. That almost became a judge right there in Georgia. So that's the kind of character that we can expect from our judges in Democrat politics. Very good. Okay. Willis went on to defeat the scandal hit boss, longtime director attorney Paul Howard in the Democrat Party after a runoff in August. So here's one scandal hit boss, which, by the way, that Paul Howard guy, Miss Timpson said, he was pretty fair to her. Doesn't mean that he's innocent. I don't know about innocent or guilt. I only know you replaced one guy that was riddled with scandal with the pristine and clean Fani Willis. How's everyone feel in Fulton County? Okay. Is this whole county just criminals piled up sitting on each other like Yertle the turtle? Trump, here's in May 2020, Shelitha Robertson, a former Atlanta assistant city attorney. Oh, so she was an attorney for that long, and an ex-cop in Georgia's largest city, fraudulently applied for millions of dollars in government loans for 4 businesses she owned, prosecutor said. Wow, she owns 4 businesses? Man, what a criminal racket. How do I get in on this cheddar over there in Fulton County, Georgia? Oh, man, these Democrats, they got money coming out their ears. She has 4 businesses. The loan applications falsely inflated the number of employees. Oh, no. Lady. And the average monthly payroll for each of the 4 businesses, resulting in larger PPP loans than Robertson would be legitimately entitled to obtain, the Department of Justice said. Now, she inflated the loans on 4 businesses. And how much did she embezzle? $15 million. My wife and I, we have our business where we got some COVID help. I think it was like $24,000. And this lady goes for broke. She's like, I got 8,000 employees. I might have gotten 50,000 because I've been in one for each of our employees. I don't remember. Okay. But boy, if I'd have known, I could have gone for $15 million. This Shelitha Robertson, these Democrats have a much bigger imagination when it comes to crime than I do. Must be in their nature. Must be part of their party's creed. She also filed fake tax documents to support the loan applications process. Oh, so she got it all backed up. Good girl. You got to cover your tracks. You got to provide all this false data, false information to throw the dogs off your scent. Robertson used the fraudulent money to buy a 10-carat diamond, Rolls Royce. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported she also transferred some of the money to other relatives, and her co-conspirator, Chandra Norton, also a disbarred attorney. Boy, this story keeps getting better. This is getting better. Co-conspirator Chandra Norton. A jury convicted Robertson of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering December 19th, 2023. Did Fani Willis return the $1,000? Did she keep the donation is what I want to know. She was sentenced Friday to 7 years and 3 months in prison. Ooh. You can just sit there and keep the seat warm for Trump. Because Trump, this is my plan. Trump gets sentenced to a prison in Fulton County. First thing he has to say is, I identify as a woman. Then get thrown in this woman's prison, and he'll be a cellmate with Miss Robertson. Followed by 3 years of supervised release, Robertson broke down in tears upon hearing the sentence Friday, hours after telling the court she was dead broke, according to the AJC. I got no money. My business is gone. My law license is gone. Quote, my assets are gone. Quote, the only thing I have left is my family and my faith in God, unquote, she said. I'm happy she has her faith in God. I'm praying she repents. I don't wish for justice on my enemies and then grace on myself. So I'm just going to stay silent on that. I do think to the degree that you judge others, you shall be judged. I'll tell you that much. Fani Willis better be careful how hard she brings that hammer down on Trump, because that hammer, it swings back pretty hard, lady. Well, this has been another expose of another Fani Willis buddy. This has been Doug in Exile. Subscribe.